Hi, welcome to Studio at Home. I'm Danielle Hatch, an educator at Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art. Today I'm going to be taking you through the process of making some natural ink.
You can pause this video or scroll back to any step if you need to.
So we're going to start off by making a berry ink. So you can use any type of berry you like. I'm using blackberries today. So the materials that you'll need for this project are 2 cups of blackberries, a ½ cup of water, a potato masher or a fork if you don't have that, a bowl to mash up your ingredients, and a strainer or cheesecloth or a coffee filter can work. So we'll start off by adding our 2 cups of blackberries to our bowl. And you're going to take your masher give those a good mash. As you can see, it's a little messy. So you can feel free to put down some paper like I've done on your table, or a plastic tablecloth. Now I'm going to mix in ½ cup of water. Give it a little bit more of a mash. Next, I'm going to take my bowl and strainer. I'm going to add my berries to that. Take a spoon and strain the liquid. Once you finish straining, you can pour your liquid into any extra glass jars that you have lying around that have a lid. And then you can keep this in the fridge for several weeks. You can add some vinegar and salt to help preserve and increase the vibrancy of the pigment. Next, we are going to be making some natural ink using some spices from your cabinet. So I'm using turmeric and paprika today, but you can choose whatever spices you have. So we'll start off by mixing. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of each color. Now we're going to mix in 1 cup of boiling water into each spice. Now we're going to mix this and then transfer it into a container with a lid. So I've got my turmeric here. And my paprika here. So once you have it in your container with the lid, you'll wait 24 hours, and every time you walk past, just give it a shake to incorporate the water and the spice. So I've left these overnight, so now I'm going to strain out the pigment. So this time I'm using some cheesecloth in my strainer just to get out the fine particles. And again, I'm going to use just a recycled leftover glass jar to hold my pigment. Strain that all the way out. Then I'll add it to my jar. Okay, once you have all of your inks prepared, then you can start to experiment with them. So we have our yellow turmeric ink, our purple berry ink, and our orange paprika. So you can use any type of paper you have. I'm using watercolor paper, and you can start to experiment with your ink. So you can use a brush, paintbrush, an ink pen, or even play around with non-traditional methods, like you could use a feather, but just have fun experimenting with these homemade inks. And once you've created something, feel free to share it on social media using the hashtag CB from home. I can't wait to see what you come up with.